Welcome back to Red and Blue. I'm Robert Costa. With the midterms officially behind us, it's been a long year. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are looking ahead to 2024. 33 U.S. Senate seats are up for grabs in the next election cycle. 23 of them are currently held by Democrats or independents who caucus with the Democrats. Jessica Taylor joins us now for more. She is the Senate and Governor's editor for the Great Cook Political Report. Thank you so much for joining us. As you look at this map, what do you see for 2024? Headwinds for Democrats or for Republicans?
Well, I think it's too early to tell what the political climate is going to be, but it's a very, very challenging map for Democrats. And I think it's a good thing for them that they added one seat, though, of course, Arizona now puts that a little bit on the bubble in our 2024 calculations, because they're defending they're defending seats in West Virginia and Montana, which Trump won by double digits. Biden lost there, and another incumbent, Sherrod Brown, in Ohio. Some of the other states that will be up: Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, as we mentioned, Pennsylvania, ones that have been the perpetual battleground states now for the past several cycles. So this is a tough map. 23 seats for Democrats they're defending to just 10 for Republicans.
Jessica, let's listen to a clip from my interview yesterday with Congressman Ruben Gallego of Arizona. Will you talk to him before you make your decision?
Probably not. He will not determine my future. Again, it's the people of Arizona, my family. He is not in a position even to make decisions. He has to balance the needs of the caucus first. And by the time they figure out how they're going to balance the cinema still being there and me running for office, it's going to be too late. So once I make my decision, I'll go, and then we'll talk to him at some point if he wants to.
So the congressman seems to be moving closer to a Senate bid running for the Democratic nomination in Arizona, should he decide to move in that direction. I thought that clip was intriguing because he said he's not going to talk to the Majority Leader Chuck Schumer before he makes his decision. So it seems like he certainly would be a likely candidate for Senate come sometime early next year. Let's say Gallego runs for Senate against an independent Senator Sinema, against a Republican nominee. What does that mean in Arizona?
Arizona is almost evenly split between Republicans, Democrats, and independents, but we've seen these past few elections against Trump-backed candidates and Trump-like candidates specifically that those independents have broken for Democrats. And I was just diving into some of Sinema's numbers. I mean, Gallego has not made this a secret that he was thinking about primarying Sinema, and she's clearly seeing, I think, some of the same numbers. I mean, her favorables among Democrats was at 9% in one poll. Against another Democrat, she would get just 17% of the vote. I mean, those are not numbers where you win a Democratic primary. And Arizona does have a sore loser loss, so she couldn't pull sort of a Joe Lieberman in 2006, where if she loses the primary, she could run as an independent. She has to do this proactively now. Now, notably, she has not said whether she will run for re-election, but I always assume that an incumbent is running. And I think it was a very narrow path for her if she's running again as a Democrat in that primary, and I think it's still a very narrow path if she's running as an independent, because she still doesn't poll that great with independents. She polls lower with Republicans, and she's polling even lower with Democrats, and so it's a three-way race. But the question is, who would Republicans nominate in this case? Because they have nominated far-right candidates in these past few elections. So if it's someone like a Blake Masters or a Carrie Lake that is running, that puts the seat. Those Republicans may go to Sinema in that regards. More mainstream Republicans might. And so it's a really interesting three-way scenario. And I've been trying to find sort of a perfect example of this in the past. And the closest thing I can come up with is 2010, that Florida Senate race where Charlie Crist, the incumbent governor, endorsed by the party, but once it became clear that he was not going to win the primary, he decided to run as an independent. Marco Rubio ended up corralling support overall in that race. He almost got half of the vote. So what Sinema is doing, if she does run for re-election, is unprecedented. And the big questions on my mind are exactly that. What does Chuck Schumer do? And do they back her? Because, again, he has a fragile 51-49 majority. If they back her, and if they back Gallego or whoever the Democratic nominee does she sort of withdraw and say, maybe I go caucus with Republicans, even though she said she's not interested in doing that right now? Things change.
Many decisions for the Democrats on the horizon. Jessica Taylor, we know you'll be tracking it all. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.